process everything.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta go. I gotta be ready when I get up there. Peyton Manning sent me a text, and he was like, "Hey, Kayvon, like, it's exciting to have you, be a part of this team. I can't wait to meet you and stuff like that."
Hey,
And the only thing in my head that I could think of was like, damn, I was playing Madden with Peyton
With
Manning. And my
Peyton, now
homeboy
he a teammate.
played with the Colts, and he throwing the ball to Dallas Clark.
and now
And the
he a
only thing that
teammate.
registered in my head when Peyton was texting me was like, damn, I can't wait to get to practice, Peyton, because I want to pick you off. So I had text that boy that like right after he texted me, I was like,
You
yeah, I
sent that
can't.
message to him?
Yeah, I still got it. I saved it. I was like, I can't wait to get to practice and compete at the highest level, and I can't wait to finally get a Peyton Manning interception. Even though I'm not gonna be playing against you, still gonna be good to get one of them P.
Yo, what's happening? What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Growth Process Podcast. I'll go around the room, introduce everybody. Briefcase Tony, what's happening?
Yo, what's up?
Bari G,
You already know me.
Liv,
Chilling.
and you already know Kayvon, man. What's happening, man? Welcome to the pod, man.
Appreciate y'all boys for having me.
Man, without a doubt. Thank you for coming,
Yeah.
man. How was the weekend, fellas? What did we do? Let's start with Kay. What'd you do this past weekend, Kay?
This weekend, I really ain't do much this weekend. It was more like a me time weekend, in the house, taking care of some house stuff. I'm building a garden in the backyard. Selling. I just bought a new car this weekend for my HVAC business, but taking it easy.
That's what's up. Congrats to that.
For sure.
Okay.
Brief, you was outside.
Yeah.
What was outside looking like? Basel weekend.
Our Basel was a vibe, bro. It was a vibe. Yeah. I connected with a lot of good people. Yeah. I'm gonna just leave it like that. It was a wild.
Yeah, I'm
weekend,
waiting
bro.
for more, but if you're gonna keep it light, that's
Get
cool.
home about 2 a.m. type
2.
vibes.
And nigga hit me this morning,
It was a
5 a.m.
wild
Oh,
weekend,
you was up
bro.
like that?
It was a wild
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, he was
bro.
in that trap.
We outside.
Good vibes though. Good vibes.
For sure.
Go ahead, Barry.
Shit. Man, I just chill, reflect, you know what I'm saying? And then start looking towards what I'm finna invest in with my lady, you know what I'm saying? We starting to do our vision boards for this next year coming up. So,
That's what's up.
just working on things for growth, you feel me?
Yeah,
GPS.
that's what's up.
I kept it light this week. Stayed home. Ain't do it. Just vibe. Like I said, it's crazy now that there's no more youth football. I find
You don't know
myself
what to do
bored
with
as hell,
yourself.
And I'm like, damn, my son is at the house running around like he crazy.
Track season.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. I gotta wait till
track
January though. But besides that, I ain't do nothing. Just stayed home and chilled.
Same here. Kept it real light. Just chilled at the crib. I don't even remember stepping outside. I was just at the crib all weekend. Didn't really do too much. Just, excited. Getting ready for this event we got coming up.
That's a fact.
Prepping for that. That's just
December
about to be,
13th. Make sure you get your suits and ties ready.
boy, that's
Yes,
just
going live.
That's just about to be a movie,
That
boy.
shit on.
Nah, but Kay, you're our special guest.
For sure.
Let's get into some of these questions real quick that these people want to know, man. Give us a little bit about your upbringing, a little bit about yourself, and then from there we'll depict and go from there.
Okay. Hello, everyone. But I'm Kavon Webster from Miami. Grew up in Opa-Locka. Played Optimist football at Bunch Park all of my years. I went to Carol City, went to New Orleans, and then I transferred to Monsignor Pace, where from Pace led me to college, on to USF, and then USF led me to getting drafted by the Broncos, 3rd round. And, from there, it was just like 7 to 8 year professional career. After my career, I jumped into entrepreneurship, which is I had a drive-in carrier service for 4 years, sold that, and then I went into a food truck industry. Had it for 2 years in Cali. Then I came to Miami during the pandemic, had that for about 3 years running, and then, transitioned into a restaurateur. Got the restaurant, had that open for 6 months, grew into another restaurant 6 months later, and then grew into another restaurant 6 months after that. after that, help some friends open hookah lounges or other businesses. So it's pretty much growth, you know,
Nah, that's what's up.
Dope.
from little league to now, a lot of growth.
Nah, that's commendable because a lot of
Fire.
players leave the league and don't really know what to do. You tap into entrepreneurship and you had success doing it. And you took chances, you gambled and you bet on yourself and it paid off for you.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead, Liv.
Since you played, since you played Miss football, went to NFL. What was it like the day that you actually noticed, realizing that, damn, I'm not playing football anymore? Because playing football from youth to pros, you've been programmed. You know what I mean? You're so used to waking up doing the same routine. What was it like that day when you realized, damn, the routine has been broken?
So I would say my routine from just playing football was broken when I went to college. Um, we had Jim Levitt. He recruited me from USF. He told me, he was like, "Hey, Kayvon, if you come here, we're gonna talk about you at the press conference for the first 10 minutes. I'm definitely gonna make everybody know your presence is felt. You're gonna play here as a freshman. You could do pretty much whatever you want." That's how I got to USF because the coach was, he was real. I felt his realism, and he got fired, so I had to go through some adversity after the firing. After my freshman year, we won a bowl game, and started 7 games as a freshman. Went to a bowl game. We won a bowl game. Jason Pierre-Paul, George Selvey, Jerome Murphy. Those guys were like high draft picks, and seeing them go through the pro day and the combine process. That's when it was, a real thing. Saying like, okay, in a couple of years, this gonna be me, or it could be me next year. So, what things do I do now to be more prepared than the guys that's in front of me? And I had a coach. His name was Rick Smith. I love Rick Smith to this day. Short, Caucasian coach. Maybe about 80 years old now. Lives in North Carolina, but he was the one that woke me up in college. It was like I was a freshman. I'm coming off of this, Big East freshman team, playing as a freshman. And coach came in and he just bust my bubble. And he was like, "Well, where I'm from, we don't play freshmen. And I don't even know how you was playing." And I was just looking at him like, "What you mean?" Like, I just started for this team. We just went to a bowl game. We won. Like, I got picks. I got sacks. I got all that stuff you want, How you gonna tell me that I'm not in love with the game, And that's when I woke up. It was just like, "Oh, you're not in love with the game because you doing XYZ." And the XYZ I was doing, I thought I was doing the right thing, I was getting up at 6 a.m. in college, going to track practice, finishing track practice probably by 8:30, going to all my classes, finishing by 1:30. Then football started at 2:30. So then coach is just like, he don't think I love football because he see my attention is in track, and then of course school, and then football. But I was just like, "Coach, where I'm from, all this goes together. Like, I'm running football, I'm running track so that I could run with these guys that's playing football, so that so I don't give up the long ball." I immediately had to stop playing and just prove to him that football was what I really wanted to do, what I was passionate at. I didn't quit. I just didn't go to the practices.
You just competed at the.
I just competed at the meets, and then God had His hand on me. I was able to not practice for track, but still make it to the Big East championship in the outdoor and the indoor meets.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing. I just had to keep telling myself, like, control what I can and balance the things I can't, and just stay working on my craft.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Let me ask you this. Talk to us about draft day. Where were you when your name was announced? How did you feel? Because at that point, you pretty much done everything from little league, high school, college, like you just mentioned. Now you're here. The day has come. This is everyone's childhood dream, right?
Yeah.
So now relive that moment for us. What was that like?
To be honest with you, it's kind of like in that situation, it was tough to like have emotions high because I'm the only person in my family that was in that position at that time. So like even going to college, I didn't really have, you know, the right, I ain't gonna say the right people telling me what schools to go to, but my family not football oriented.
Yeah,
Like
sadly.
my dad didn't play sports. My mom, she ran track, but she always had a job. My dad, you know, he worked, and that was his thing to me. Like, boy, when you turn 18, you gonna have a job. You ain't gonna be in here.
Right.
Like, we never really was eye to eye when it came to sports, cause he ain't really understand what it meant to be an athlete. So
Right.
I was always trailblazing, and when it came to the draft, I really didn't really have no real emotions about the draft. Like, I had talking to teams about being drafted, and in my back of my head, it was just like I always got to have me a plan just in case whatever I'm going through don't work out. But it worked out, you know. That night, I got a call from the Denver Broncos. Me, Stedman Bailey, Ray Armstrong. We was right there in Miami Gardens, around my folks' house. You know, draft day coming up. It's on the TV. We just sitting there, you know, phones charged, thinking they charged, but waiting for a call. You know, I got a call, and then maybe like five 5 minutes into the call, you know, my phone died.
Oh
It was
Damn.
crazy. It was crazy. It was just like, hey, Kayvon, it's John Fox and it's John Elway, and we drafting you pick number 90, and phone died.
Phone died.
You know what I'm saying? So
Damn, phone died
it was
on you.
crazy. You know, the family. I think they were excited, but I don't even think they realized what was happening. I just think they just was happy that I got the call. Stedman got a call 2 calls later, so we were both in the same vicinity, and it just was a surreal moment. We had to fly out the next day, go meet the team, go meet, you know, people, and it was just time to get to work. It wasn't even no time to just be like,
To enjoy it.
damn, boy, we got drafted. It wasn't none of that. It was like, boy, we got drafted. Hey, you at Denver? I'm at Denver. You in at the Rams? Denver just lost to the Ravens, so I already knew, like, going there, like, what was at stake. It was like this team trying to win the championship, and so I was like, I ain't had no time to even be.
Process everything.
Yeah, I was just like, I gotta go. I gotta be ready when I get up there. Peyton Manning sent me a text, and he was like, "Hey, Kayvon, like, it's exciting to have you, you know, be a part of this team. I can't wait to meet you and stuff like that."
Hey.
And the only thing in my head that I could think of was like, damn, I was playing Madden with Peyton
With
Manning.
Peyton.
My
Now
homeboy
he
played
a teammate.
played with the Colts, and he throwing the ball to Dallas Clark.
And
And the only thing that registered in my head when Peyton was texting me was like, damn, I can't wait to get to practice, Peyton, because I want to pick you off. So I had text that boy that, like, right after he texted me, you know, I was like, yeah, I
sent that
can't.
message to him?
Yeah, I still got it. I saved it. I was like, I can't wait to get to practice and, you know, compete at the highest level. And I can't wait to finally get a Peyton Manning, you know, interception. Even though I'm not going to be playing against you, still going to be good to hit one of them PM.
And what he said back? What do you reply back?
He just wrote like, haha, can't wait to see you. And, you know, it was, he was the first person I saw when I got to Denver, you know, got off the plane, they picked me up. And then when we get to the facility, you know, he was there, Champ was there. And it was just like, it was a surreal feeling. That was my first time. You got to think, I'm from Florida. I went to college in Florida, high school.
First time pretty much leaving the state.
So first time leaving the state, like, to live outside the state.
Yeah.
So that was a whole nother feeling in itself. And being one of the only Florida people out there to adapt, you know, in the West Coast where it's snowing, it's like bipolar weather. You know, that was a whole learning experience.
Nah, that's what's up. That's dope. Peyton probably was looking at, man, what the hell this rookie talking about? Get off my phone.
How is Peyton though? Is he like really cool, down to earth?
I would say so. I would say Peyton is Peyton is a pretty, laid back, cool guy. When it's time to work, he gonna work, and when it's time to tell some jokes, he gonna tell some jokes.
Yeah.
But pretty laid back guy about his business, attention to detail. He's everything that you think he is when you see him on the TV.
Let me ask you this. We're going from your rookie year. We're going to fast forward to the Super Bowl real quick, right?
I went to Super Bowl as a rookie too.
Yeah,
We
that's
lost.
what I'm saying. We're going to fast forward to the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
right?
We lost.
You were on the field when that play happened where they criticized and ridiculed Cam.
Well, you talking about the one we won
When he
in
didn't
2015.
fall on the fumble.
Oh yeah.
What was
about
that moment? Not just that moment, but just like the game in its entirety. Because as a rookie, you're in the Super Bowl. You win the Super Bowl as a rookie, straight out of Dade County, probably like what, a month removed from it? No, about 5-6 months removed from it.
Yeah.
Was that like a surreal moment? Like, what was that moment like for you?
So I went to the Super Bowl twice. I went as a rookie and then I went again my third year. So it was definitely like an experience. The first year it was like it was tough because all this stuff hitting you at once and you're not even really settled in what you want to do and who you are. You get to the league, you get to the Super Bowl and they tell you about things that you can and you can't do, and it was stuff happening at the Super Bowl that we didn't even think was wrong. TMZ coming in. We at a restaurant. They making a storyline saying, "Hey, the Denver Broncos done ordered all this food," and it's just like certain stuff was headlines that didn't need to be a headline. And then coming into a meeting room and I'm sitting right next to Peyton, and then you hear John Fox come up there and he's like, "Yeah, so these guys were, not on the so good side, but like these guys, this what they was doing on these days." And you hear your name and then you sit next to Peyton and he looking at you and he like, and I'm like, I didn't think I did nothing wrong, but like growing from that and then going to 2015, it was a night and day experience. It was just like was more prepared, more mature, and going about the business in a different way where could capitalize on all the hard work that was put in before that. Because before that, our coaches got fired in 2014, my second year. So that was kind of like the NFL not for long, so you don't even know like if you still gonna be on the team or not. Like got new coaches, they might not even like you. They might not even do this. So
Facts.
my third year was probably the hardest year of my career, just for the simple fact that you battling yourself. Like you good. You working out with some of the best people that plays in the NFL. And to be on the Broncos and have all this talent. And you just always just had to be ready. You was the next man in. So that's kind of the role that I played at Denver. It was just like you the next man in. Do your job. We count on you.
And you was the captain, right?
Yeah, I was the captain
Yeah.
for the playoffs and for the Super Bowl that year. So
You worked hard for it. You
I
earned
worked
it.
really hard that Super Bowl year.
That's fire.
The years before that, it was like I worked really hard, but it was just like one of them things where you doing something and coach don't want you to do that. It was kind of like one of those situations where I was doing stuff off the field that coach didn't want me to do, and that kind of like penalized me for being on the field full time. I had to go sit in a meeting with John Elway and Jack Del Rio, and it was just like, bro, you had an amazing camp. You did amazing. Like, we loved everything you was doing.
The off the field.
We just gotta, we gotta taper you back. This gonna be your role for the next couple weeks. This what you is. And so I had to go dig deep, accept that role, and be the very best at that role, because at the end of the day, like, it's a team sport, and without my role, what is the team?
Right.
Facts.
No, I got you. There's a notion out there, well, I guess statistically it might be factual, where they saying that after 3 years out the NFL, most players go broke.
Yeah.
You had some success for
That's the
yourself.
ones that like party every day and don't really have a plan. Like I always had a plan before I got to the league. Like I always knew that if football didn't work out, I knew I was gonna be successful at something else because like football is what I did, it's not who I am. You know, and I always had that mindset. So yeah, it's what I did.
So what advice would you give to someone else that's coming out the league that's retiring, let's say after this season? What would you tell them based on your success post NFL career?
Post NFL, I would say, just take it easy. Don't rush into things. Find things that are free that you love to do, and then turn those things into businesses. Do your research on like the things that you like, the things you don't like, and then go hard in the things that you like, just like it was football.
Yeah. So just shift that energy or your
Yeah.
passion into another industry.
Yeah. I mean, football gonna end one day. We can't play it forever. Everybody ain't Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't, these quarterbacks. They got double lives over everybody.
You barely could touch him now.
Exactly.
Though. That's why.
That's why I tell everyone, if you have a son, let him at least try to play quarterback, which is what we're doing with my nephew, his son.
Yeah,
And
quarterback.
he's balling at it.
Quarterback
So
a great position to start your kids out at. But you got to know when and if they gonna be quarterback or they gonna be something else. You got to be realistic.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't be
definitely.
going in a blind
at the
like,
end.
boy, my son
Sure,
gonna
man.
be Tom Brady. It's like, hey, Tom Brady wasn't even Tom Brady till he got all
Yeah,
those,
yeah, that's true. Because
You know?
even at Michigan, he was a backup for a couple of years.
If it wasn't for Drew Bledsoe, we probably wouldn't even know.
That's
Tom
true.
Brady,
Yeah.
That's true.
Gotta still put that work in regardless.
Yeah, and make the best of your opportunities
Yep.
whenever it comes around.
So are you keeping up with football right now?
I watch a few games. It was hard for me to watch football when I first started playing because I was doing so much other stuff. I just stopped working out for the league in 2022. So I was still working out to play for the league, but
So that's when you
that's
officially
when I was just
announced?
like, you know what? I ain't even the person that make announcements. I just gonna do what I want to do, like.
But you officially retired. You
But are you
submitted your
retired?
paperwork?
Yeah, I'm retired. I've been
Okay.
retired since 2022. I see people make announcements and stuff. That stuff be cool, but
That's just not something
they
that you wanted
ain't
to do.
never been me. Like
Miami
the people
nigga.
that I grew up around. It just like I'm trying to continue to grow myself because I grew up around people who don't know about electronics or people who don't even pick up phones. Like you got to go to their house and see them.
Right.
So that's the era that I grew up in. Like my people I was around, they wasn't talking on phones. They wasn't texting. It was just like, hey, if you want to see this person, you got to go over there. So
You gotta
like
pull up on
even
'em.
being in this is a new space because the people that I was around, we wasn't really having conversations about pretty like anything for real. It was just like, this is what we do. We wake up, we do this, you do that. That's what we do. We ain't having no conversations about like what's your plan gonna be in life. You just always woke up at the crib, the old boy saying,
You gotta go to
boy,
work.
your ass gonna get a job. Your ass gonna get a job, boy. I don't give a
Get to
damn
it.
about that football, boy. I don't
Right.
give a damn about none of that accolades, all that. Your ass be working 9 to 5, boy. You ain't gonna be sitting in my house bringing girls through
Old
playing
school.
games.
Old school pops.
You ain't doing that, You finna have a real job. So when you turn 18,
Get ready to
tell
go
me
to
what
work.
you wanna do.
So let me ask you a question. What's the conversation like with him now?
I don't really have a conversation with my old man.
Like
It's kind of tough to have that, like we disconnected, from me being an athlete to, going to college and going through all of that stuff and then getting to the league. It's just like we had a disconnect because you ain't never lived
Yeah.
the lifestyle that I
So
live.
so even
for.
with all that, he never acknowledged nothing you was doing.
He was
My
never
old
like
boy,
supportive.
my old boy be proud of stuff. Like, you know, he always tell you he love you and stuff, but he never really got into depth about like what it is that you're doing.
Right.
Like I never had no football conversation with my old boy about nothing.
Man, your dad
Like,
tough, boy.
I never
Old
had
school.
no like.
Was he in the military? Was he in the
Like-
service?
My old boy not from here though. He from Belize, so
Oh, okay.
So, like-
Okay, you can't
That's
fault
why.
him. Yeah, you
so
can't
like
fault
it
him.
was a whole disconnect like that. Like whatever he thinking,
Nah,
we
nah,
thinking
nah.
differently.
Yeah.
you know?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
So
Now that you said that,
It makes sense.
now that
There's
you
a
said that,
difference.
we understand.
Right.
And then, you know, my mom, like, so my birth dad, he wasn't in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen that boy when I was 7 years old. We got a paternity test. The boy took me to get an outfit from Carol Mart. Remember the shoe store next door, USA?
Yeah, next
That's
door.
brief
Got
spot,
some
boy.
Reeboks. Got some Reeboks.
That's
out of
brief
there.
old trap.
Boy took me,
Brief rents.
that boy took me to Crown Theater. I got me a nice little Fat Albert set out of there, brown jean jacket. I'm still in the brown, you feel me? But yeah,
Yeah, straight up.
grabbed a little brown jean set, Fat Albert, some nice Reeboks. You
That
know,
then
that's
came
when-
back too. The Fat Albert is coming
Yeah,
back.
they coming
yeah.
back. True's
That when
coming
Lot
back.
29 was out.
So
Damn, Lot 29.
After that, you
shit.
ain't never seen him again.
I seen that boy when I was in college. That boy hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever need woo woo," it was already too late. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know, that relationship never really went nowhere. It was just like, if it was something, it was me reaching out, like, "Hey, bro, how come you wasn't this?" Or like, my mama said this, but like, what you saying? Oh, let me get my mama on the phone. All right, mom, we got a 3-way. Hey, ask that boy questions. You know, like I'm asking him questions. My old girl on the phone, she listening. She saying her piece, he saying his piece, and at the end of the day, it was just like, all right, that's dead. Like, what's next?
So
Let's go to another
let me ask you
conversation.
this. Let me ask you this. So you chose your mama's side?
Always, yeah. My mama, yeah.
See.
I'm gonna ride with her forever.
See, and that's a problem.
But she probably been an issue. She probably was the issue.
But see, that's the thing,
in that,
because like
I wouldn't know.
Because I'm dealing with my son. He only 3, and I really love my son. But she took him to a different state. Already, we got on the phone. She on speaker. Oh, Astro don't love you. Why you saying that? Oh, he don't love anybody that don't respect his mama. So the poisoning already
Brainwashing.
starting.
Yeah.
The brainwashing
She's
already
brainwashing
starting.
That's the one thing I'm gonna give my mama credit for. My mama never
Bashed him?
My mama never bashed nobody. My mama just like, hey, you my son, I love you, and whatever you need, talk to me.
But
that was it.
Let me say one more thing, brief. There's a difference from his situation and your situation. Reason being that you actively want to be in your son's life. His dad didn't want to be in his life. You understand me? No matter what your baby mama try to do, you're gonna have that connection with your son.
Yeah. Your son will always feel connected
He's
to
gonna
you.
always have that connect with you.
'Cause you
Like the
fighting
old
for
boy
him.
said, he had wanted to be in my life, but he had the excuses he had. It was just like, if that was me, those excuses wouldn't never
makes
make an
sense.
effect. You know, like on me being in my seed life. So, you know, it was
You're
it
his
was a
own-
little journey.
you're his
growing
only
up, you
kid?
know? Nah. So I ran into. So this the crazy thing. I ran into my old boy at the park with his son working out.
Oh shit.
He got some other kids, so I ran into them. It was like real random. It was like I went to the park with one of my homeboys. I just had him come with me because I'm like, hey, I need to get this work in, but I just need you to throw the rock. I don't care how ugly it's coming out.
Yeah,
whatever.
just get it out.
Just need you to throw it, you know? So get to the track. I see some kids out there,
That's
you
crazy.
know, working
bro.
out.
This is a wild story, boy.
See some kids out there working out.
Damn.
And
Not to cut you off, can you tell us the ages you think?
I had just got to the league. What's that league? I don't even remember, but I know he was like 8, 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
The kid was young.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So-
that's wild.
And the kid was on the team with one of my with my nephew. So my nephew, he always used to come home and he's like, hey, it's a boy on my team. He saying he your brother. He saying I'm like, nah. Like, boy, who that
Dang,
is?
shit was right all
So he
along.
like, hey, your brother on my team. I'm like, bro, this like these my brothers right here. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
all right. So get to the park, see the kid. He just ran up to me. He like, Kayvon, like, what's up, brother? Like, I'm like, what's up, boy? You good? He like, man, tell these kids you my brother. So I'm looking at, I'm like, I ain't gonna shit on the jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my brother right there. Like,
Did you see any resemblance at all?
I just was like, yeah, he my brother.
All them,
All them jits in the hood looking like.
half of them just black, half of them light skinned, half of them in the middle, boy.
then I seen the old boy though. He had a little sled with him, and
Working Jit out.
and Jit was
That's
working out with him.
fucked up.
So I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
And what position Jit play?
he played quarterback.
Okay.
He played quarterback.
But the
he was
Crazy
playing
thing
quarterback.
is-
I don't know where he played now. I know he in high school. I think he went to Pace. I don't.
Man, you gotta
I
find
ain't
your
even.
little bro.
You gotta find little bro, 'cause he ain't got nothing- but that's
I ain't even
crazy
tapped
'cause
back
he
in.
could've been training him.
I ain't tapped back in the little bro because I had my own like issues and other people like issues that I was taking care of.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that might have got lost in the wash, But
Yeah.
You go find him?
anytime little bro, like anytime I seen him, it was the best of vibes. It was
But
he used to come to all my football camps when I had the camps.
Okay, that's
I
what's
had the
up.
camps
Yeah.
for like 8 years.
Yeah.
But
He used to come
you
to the
understand
camps.
how he feeling though?
No, of course.
All I was missing from you doing it with him.
Right.
That's kind of fucked up.
It was like a real moment though, like cause not seeing that was in my head. It was like, damn, my old boy ain't never come to the park with me and do none of
Yeah.
this. Like he ain't worked me out solo or nothing.
Just imagine how he would feel. Like, I'm not gonna project this on your little brother, but let's say we're doing a hypothetical. He don't go pro. The son that he's pushing and training don't go pro, and the one that he wasn't in his life was the one that went pro.
I don't think it was like a situation where he was like trying to train the Jet for the pros. It was just like this his new kids.
No,
He got
just
a
the
second
time,
chance.
yeah.
He got a second chance
To make it
now.
right.
And the kid,
Yeah.
he round people that's familiar with his older brother.
Yeah.
So now he just hearing stories about his older brother, and now he see me. I'm having camps. He coming back. He around these kids, and now he around these kids, and they all like love me, And he like that's my brother right there.
Nah, that's what's up though.
So
That's
that was
maturity.
It was just like a
You
real
can't
moment.
blame the kid,
That's
never,
but Kay, that's
never.
a testament to you though, bro. That shows a lot of maturation that you
got great
you're able to
character.
at least to view it from that perspective as him trying to make it right for the I guess his next
I don't even
or
know
other
what
son.
his thought process was. I ain't have no real communication. Like I was just like, oh y'all out here working out. All right, cool, yeah. I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna do my little work, get out. Like that's how that was. It wasn't really like, they used to come when I got the food truck. They used to come by the food truck.
Okay.
I used to
But
be
that
at
was
that
it.
bit
It
too.
wasn't really
Looked
like,
out for them boys that they had to pay.
Lil bro always was good. I always gave Lil bro some.
Pops gotta pay.
Pops gotta pay.
Gotta pay.
Gotta pay.
Plus tax.
Nah, I don't need no tax, bro. Just pay your dues, man. Like we charge this, bro. There's people on there working. That's where that money go.
Nah.
It don't go to me directly. So
So let me ask you this. So how you go from, owning your own 18-wheeler into what got you into like food truck? What took you there? Cause I know you was out there with the Rams. So what got you into that?
So I was in the drive-in carrier service for 2 years before that. I got into that because of Champ Bailey. Him and his brother Boss, they used to have trucks and stuff. So I used to be picking his brain about it. But I really got into food when, I got drafted to Denver. That's when I first started seeing like chefs. Like Von Miller, he always had a chef at his house. Antonio Brown trained with him all the time. So he always had chefs at his house. So it was just like, damn, I want to get a chef. So the chance that I had took to get a chef, I got one when I went to Los Angeles. It was a new state, new surroundings for me. I just compacted everything that I needed into one. So
Was
I
it
had
woman chef
Which chef?
in Cali?
No, this chef was from Miami.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did have a chef named Kayla in California, and Chef Mel.
Wait, so Kayla, she light skinned, curly hair.
She like 6'4".
Nah, that's different. I know a
Yeah.
Chef Kayla
Yeah.
in California.
Yeah, Chef Kayla. Shout out to you. She's 6'4" though. She
Nah, it just ain't the same. I know a Chef
dropped
Kayla.
some meals on your boy.
Yeah.
Heavy, but
I bet.
6'4", that's a nice baby
yeah,
boy.
she was real
real
good to
shit,
me, you know. But then I think something happened where I had found a chef from Miami. He was the chef. He used to work with Antonio, but I didn't know nothing else outside of him working with Antonio. I guess he wasn't working with Antonio at the time. He was in Cali, and I was like, bro, I need a chef. You know, like I needed going in the season. I need to be lean. I need to be healthy. You know, you the guy for the job. I seen you making shakes at Bruh Crib in the off season, so you out here now. You might as well, you know, make something for me. So that's how I got into the game. Started with meal prepping for the team players on my team. 'Cause I used to go to work with lunch and breakfast, and them boys was just like, bro, where you getting this food from? And I'm like, bro, I got a
Exclusive.
chef. Like, you want to come to the crib? That boy over there, when we get out of practice, come through the crib.
That's good. You
gonna
put them on
He
too.
gonna whip it up for you. So, you
Good
know,
lifestyle.
we started meal prepping for players on my team, and then we had a client on the Chargers. Fast forward, the prices that we was charging for meal prep, I didn't agree with. So I just wrote a message to all the players that I knew was getting food from the program. I was like, look, I don't know what Chef got going on. I ain't agreeing to that. If y'all boys feel a certain way, just drop out. You know, got to figure this out somewhere else. So I had wound up playing against Philly. I tore my Achilles, and after I had surgery, I was just sitting on the couch in the house. I was watching this movie called Chef, and I got inspired by just watching this dude. Like, he was cooking in these restaurants. The restaurant owner didn't want to let him cook the food that he wanted to cook for the food critic, and he quit. And he went and got a food truck. And when he quit and he went and got a food truck, he had his son on there with him. One of the linemen from the from his old staff, they quit too, and they showed up at the food truck. So now it's him and his son. His son more tech savvy than him, so his son started Twitter
media.
page, Facebook for the truck. Start tweeting stuff. You know, they started trying food out. Next thing you know, them boy got a line of people like wherever they pulling up at because the son on social media. So I'm like, damn, Chef, you from Miami. It ain't nowhere out here in Cali that we could get the food that you making at the crib. I think we gonna go crazy out here because it's only taco trucks, like
Vegan,
stuff we don't even eat. You know what I'm
Facts,
saying? I'm
especially
like,
out there.
I'm going by all the trucks and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't want none of that. Hey, Chef, go to the crib. Like, I need you to make my favorite, thing.
What is it? What's your favorite thing? What was it?
So I used to eat a lot of quinoa and bison meat.
That's deer, right?
No,
Wait, bison.
That's the bison.
That's
That's
the
the buffalo.
Oh, buffalo. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So, he made I used to eat everything with quinoa, oxtails, the gravy on the quinoa. That thing was like crazy. So I just had them start making quinoa bowls with certain different proteins, and I just was like, bro, I want to get a food truck.
Yeah.
I was like, we gonna sell Miami food on here. We gonna call it Vibe 305. We went through a couple names, but Vibe 305 was what stuck.
Yeah.
And we went through the process of getting a food truck. We drove to San Diego, met with somebody that had a truck, talked to them about it. They, instead of us buying their truck, they was like, hey, look, you drove from where? I'm like, we drove from Los Angeles to San Diego to come look at this truck. And he was like, I'm going to put you in touch with somebody. So a good person helped me out. They pointed me in the right direction in Cali. We drove back to Los Angeles, found La Raza food truck. It's a commissary. It got hundreds of food trucks there. They'll rent the truck out for you. They'll wrap the truck for you. You just got to pay the fee. So pay the fee, got the food truck wrapped, and, you know, that was history.
Rest is
That
history.
was history, you know.
That bit made it in Miami.
And you can go.
Oh, we had a like after I did that, I had a homie. You remember Jason Canella from Pace?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a actor out there in Los Angeles at the time. Well, he's still acting right now. Shout out to you, Jason. But
sure.
Jason had a friend that had a restaurant in Beverly Hills, and me being from Miami, I'm like, boy, we in Beverly Hills, boy. Like, I seen this on TV.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
you know, 90210, like, you know. I'm like, okay, this crazy. So I'm like, bro, you know somebody that got a restaurant there? He like, yeah. He like, you want to have an event there? I'm like, yeah, let's have the first tasting of the food. Yeah, you know. I'm going to invite all the players. I'm going to invite, it's going to be crazy, you know. So, long story short, we got in contact with the restaurant owner. It was on the corner in Beverly Hills too. It was perfect location. Invited people out, you know, had a DJ there. Just a nice little event. The restaurant owner was like, bro, what is you selling? Because this like, we closed on this day and this whole restaurant was packed. So it was maybe about 200 people in the restaurant for the food tasting event. I had some flyers, had 5 dishes, passed them out to everybody. Then we started doing the tasting, had everybody leave their answers on, like, you know, what was good, what they liked, what they didn't like. And, you know, that was a history day right there, because went full-fledged into the truck, like, right after that, because now the restaurant owner like, bro, what you selling? Like, I want to sell that here. And I'm like, how you going to do that if this my product going on the truck?
Right.
You know, so I bought like 1,000 pounds of conch out there. They don't even know about conch in the West Coast. So I gave it away for free for like 2 days, and then I started charging for it, and then it was just crazy. And the restaurant owner, he was like, hey, you could put this in sushi? I was like, yeah, you could put it in sushi, but like, I can't sell what I'm selling on my truck to you.
Right.
Like, it ain't gonna make.
It
ain't gonna make sense. It do make sense now that, like, being a restaurateur.
You could have wholesaled it to him.
I could have just said, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna sell you this. I'm gonna be the one buying it. I'm gonna just get him. He buy it from me, and
Right.
then he
Get the
sell it.
percentage off
Or
of that.
now I could have had the chef create a dish with this,
You
sell
sell it
him
to
the
them,
dish,
yeah.
get a percent of the dishes
Yeah.
for the remainder of the time that he, you know, operating this spot. But, you know, you live, you learn. You know, I kept what I did, and I opened up my food truck maybe like a month later after that, and we was there for, you know, 10 months, 10, 11 months in Cali, just booming it out, you know. We had fried conch, we had the different wing flavors, and we had some Tuscan mac, and what else we had? That was pretty much it. Some flatbread sandwiches, some stuff that remind you of the crib. Yeah. And I think LeBron had just got out. Well, LeBron was on his way out there at the time when I was just getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my favorite thing from the truck, man. I remember when you first brought the truck from Cali down
yeah.
here, and it was in Miami Gardens over there.
Yeah.
And I
At
pulled
the
up.
house.
At the house. At the house. I pulled up.
Yeah, that's why I started. I had the truck at the house for 3 months.
Mm-hmm. I was out there.
Then we had outgrew the house, and then that's how we got the 163rd location. Because I was sleeping in Miami Gardens and having people coming in my yard around 2-3 o'clock asking for the truck when they know that it's closed.
Had them motherfuckers
It was
fiending.
too crazy. It was just like,
had that
hey,
jerk
yeah, boy, we
pasta,
gotta find a new location for the truck. We gotta move it from in front of the crib because it's getting too crazy. So
Nah, it was.
you know, we found a restaurant right after that.
Mm-hmm. You was doing like small events too. I mean, we had when I had the pool party, flight exchange pool party.
Yeah. I did a lot of pool parties that year. I did a lot of events. I used to go to breweries. I used to go to hookah lounges, places that didn't really have kitchens.
Yeah.
You know, set up shop, be there all night, about
pump.
4, 5 in the morning, sell out, you know.
And you be in there working though. That's the thing. Like most people don't realize, even though you owned it, you was a person that actually worked within the truck. Most people, you know, they pay, like you said, you pay the chef, but you was actually working. I remember you making the food sometimes, or you giving me my ticket, or you know, taking my order. And I'm like, damn.
I mean,
you know,
when you come from a team-oriented background and you playing football so long, when you get in the business, you just want to be the best team player you can. So if you seeing that one of your teammates is handicapped and you can do it, you know.
Everybody play their role.
Yeah.
I just was overseeing everything, and where I saw a hole at, you know, I was putting myself in that hole and making our bond even tighter, you know. I always told them, like, I always wanted to see, I want y'all to win the Super Bowl, you know. I want y'all to feel what I feel. And so that's why I was pouring into my team by either being a cashier or dropping some wings here and there, or
But people
going to
want
the
to see
grocery
you
store.
anyway.
Yeah.
That's part of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the
Selling it,
grind.
you know?
that was dope though.
Part of the promote.
But when you take that approach, it's like a domino effect that tumbles down to the employees. Because if the person that's the CEO or the owner of the actual business is there day in and day out running the show, not afraid to get his hands dirty, rolling his sleeves up and doing whatever it takes, now there's no excuse for anyone that's in the building.
Oh, correct. Yeah, there's no room for error when the owner there and doing stuff, you know.
Like even with my party van business, bro. A lot of them request, hey, are you going to be on the van? Oh fuck. Yeah, but you know you got to pay the briefcase fee now.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Sometimes I drove the van. It's fuck it.
You gotta do what
Hey,
you
it's
gotta
your
do,
business.
man.
You gotta
Right,
do
drive,
what
I
you
had to drive
gotta
the
do.
van too.
Yeah.
But let me ask you something with nutrition. Can you be in the league like on a warrior diet, like a 1 meal diet, like one big meal a day?
Nah, never.
That ain't gonna work.
You're burning too much calorie.
Yeah, it's not.
Practice alone, you're running about
You
5
gotta
miles.
eat at least
Wait.
4, 5 times a day.
Okay, so it won't work like 1 meal a day.
Negative. You gonna die
Okay.
out there.
Okay.
Unless you overweight,
gonna be
you ain't
cramped
tryna lose
up.
weight.
I got a football question for you. You played what? Safety corner?
I played corner.
Okay, so who was the toughest guy you had to guard? Who was your toughest matchup?
No
Like-
fucking body.
Like when you say tough, like what you
I'll break it down to
say,
you.
Like who was giving you hell?
I'll break it down to you. So who was the one guy you know the night before you're like, damn, I gotta face this dude?
I never had. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. Playing football, I never had that. I never had that mentality of like going to sleep thinking about. I'm going to sleep thinking about the plays that I'm gonna make, not the person that I'm from the guard. That's always been like that for me. Like playing sports, I never went to bed like, damn, I'm finna play.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I never went to bed thinking about these guys. You know, that
You
I'm
can
finna
stick
play.
him. You can stick Antonio.
Yeah.
He won't just out it on you.
Nah, I mean like that's my man's. So like, you know, I ain't gonna never say
So on the
I
field,
ain't gonna never say somebody finna get off on me, but you know,
But
he
like catch
the ball
I'm
too.
a grown man. He a grown man. He hold his weight, I hold mine. You know, he did his on a he did his. I ain't gonna lie. So he did his on a level where the whole world was seeing it. Some of the stuff that I did,
nobody's seen.
ain't the world ain't really seen some of the stuff I did because I wasn't like on that level of
That elite type.
a player where they looking for me to do that type of stuff, you know.
Okay,
But
okay.
if I had that type of like
The limelight.
I would have put on every time. Like this
Yeah, yeah.
ain't nothing new.
like
Like,
you been
I had
doing.
limelight in little league,
high
high school,
school,
college.
yeah.
Like
Who's someone that they were bragging about that everyone think is raw, but when you line up against them, you're like, man, this nigga's all hype, overrated.
there's a lot of them out there.
I believe
But
that
I
too.
don't got no specific. I don't got
Yeah,
no
I believe-
specific. I ain't into that. I ain't into. I don't call people out. I ain't, like, hey, like I'm the type of person like. If we in the same vicinity and I feel away, you gonna know it. I ain't finna be on TV and tell. like I'm gonna tell you when we get on the field, like
You ain't what you think you are, player.
like I ain't never had no player like come on the field and talk to me crazy. It was never that. And like even when they even thought like that, it was like I had to shut the door. It was like, bro, I don't know where you from, but
From the crib.
it don't even go down like that, my boy. Like it don't
straight
go
up,
down like
Florida
that, my boy. Like I got too much. You feel me?
But
I got too much juice, boy. You ain't hey boy, my mama
Barry.
ain't made no. My mama ain't. Hey,
Good, Barry.
I ain't got no tail to tuck now. You feel me?
That's
My
real.
shit standing out.
But you
That's
played
real.
with one of the best receivers during that time in Denver.
Oh yeah,
DT.
DT. I would say this is what I would say, right? So Antonio definitely was a hard cover, like at any capacity. You know, he made you better as a corner, and I feel like I made him better as a receiver because I was aggressive. I always trained with him. I always, press him. I play all for, like we trained together. We did everything together. So he was definitely a tough cover. You know, I even watched him kill guys that was like
You thought that was better than
that was all pros. I've seen him kill all pros. Like, and them boys coming to the sideline like, bruh, what's going on? I was right there. I'm like, he that boy. And like, what you want me to say? You know?
I hope he beat that case too, man. I hope that boy beat that case.
Yeah, he
man.
should. But for players though, I would say I like Keenan Allen game. Who else did we play? So it's crazy.
Did
on
you
my
play
team,
against Megatron? Calvin.
yeah, we played them, but I didn't get a chance to play that game.
Okay.
But we won that game. Talib and Roby held it down. But I would say, Dre was a good play. Andre Johnson at Houston, he was a good play. Definitely at practice when I had we had Eric Decker, DT, Wes Welker. Like when them three was on the field with Peyton, it was kind of like that was a Super Bowl right there. At practice. So my practices was definitely harder than the game.
That's good.
Game players. There's a lot of good players in the league. I don't want to leave nobody out, But if I had to give you one playing against, I would say as a rookie, it was Keenan Allen because he had that basketball
His release.
release. That release was something I had never really even seen.
At
At that time.
And he tall too, though.
And he's more aggressive than the average receiver.
I won't say he was aggressive. He just was. He was like finesse,
and he's precise with his
like
routes.
he wasn't like none of them receivers really be aggressive like you think. Them boys ain't like that.
They ain't trying to bump.
They prima donnas. They don't want you touching them. They don't.
Ready to throw a flag.
Yeah, they crying about every single thing.
Hold it, ref. Hold it.
Especially if they ain't catching on you. They're like, boy, I would have. You ain't did nothing. Where's that?
Straight up.
So. The DB receiver battles that's continuous,
That's ongoing.
There's a lot of good players in the league though, but I never had a player that I went to sleep thinking about.
Nah, that's real.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about, you went from the food truck, you know what I'm saying? How did you come up with the name Smith and Webster? I've been wanting to ask you this question for a long time.
So Smith and Webster was it was a long thought process for the simple fact that Vibe 305 restaurant, I was thinking of like how can I make this more elevated from the crowd that I have at the truck, because I wanted to have two separate crowds. The food truck crowd was like younger crowd, people who know me, that type of stuff. But when they went to the restaurant, I was just like, I want to have a grown and sexy or a grown atmosphere, and Vibe 305 not going to give me that. It's going to bring out the people
vibe,
that I don't want.
It's gonna bring the vibe.
And I had a long thought process about Smith and Webster. I had just met the food critic. His name's Star X Smith. Spent a lot of time with him, just going over, food and just life in general. But the Smith name stuck with me because my coach that used to pick me up, 5 o'clock in the morning before school, when I started going to Pace, his last name was Smith. Coach Mario Smith.
Yeah.
My DB coach in college, the one who said that I didn't have
You weren't committed to the game.
the drive for the game,
Yeah.
his last name was Smith. His name was Rick Smith. And my cameraman, Theo last name is Smith. And then one of my close friends, Derek, his last name was Smith.
Okay, so Smith was just all around.
So Smith was just like a unique, it was just like
it was all
everybody,
around.
It was around you.
everybody around here with Smiths, and it was just like, well, they got Smith and Walensky, they got Smith and Wesson. They don't got no Smith and Webster. This sound elevated.
Definitely fire.
And so, the food critic, of course, that's what he do. He do media. So Smith and Webster, his last name Smith, he gotta wear it. So it's like pub it out.
Yeah.
Bring the people in. So, that's where Smith and Webster came from, made it up right there.
His last name is Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Theo.
Sitting right there in 163rd while the restaurant name was Vibe 305, trying to come up with some elevated names. And, the Smith name, it just kept popping up. And then my partner, his last name was Smith. So it was just like, all right, let's just run with
That's crazy.
Smith and Webster. It's a nice solid
I'm like,
name.
damn, that ain't got nothing to do with his last name.
I mean, it does because he's the Webster.
Webster.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying the Smith part. I kept trying to figure it out.
The Smith was created because of all of those
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It
Now
was
that
just
you broke it down,
was
I
just like,
understand.
dang, I got 4-5 people that name Smith, and then the guy that I just met, that's the food critic that I want to be
Smith.
on board for the restaurant. His last name was Smith. It was just like, bro, this good for headlines. Let's do it.
Yeah. How
do whatever you say you gonna do.
Nah, I got you. How brutal is the I guess hospitality or food industry?
It could break you if you let it. You're dealing with a lot of different characters in there, a lot of different backgrounds. Just like football, I treated it like football. I came in there, I'm like Jerry Jones and Bill. So it's just like, all right, how we gonna win and what we gonna do to win. So me personally, I was like, damn, if we add a food critic, it ain't no restaurants around that got a food critic that could market. All right, cool. All right, it ain't no chefs around that could duplicate the cuisine like this. That's attention to detail. That's this guy. There's nobody that could do back office stuff like this. So I had to build my team up for my restaurant in order for me to fly. And it's brutal because when you used to only having to depend on you going to working out and you going to do therapy and rehab and all these things that for you to individually be great in football, it's like in a restaurant, you got all these other factors that you got to be great for too. So that's the toughest part about it because you can't even trust none of these people have the same mindset that you have of being great because they don't know what that.
Yeah.
They don't know what it is. Some of them don't even have no successes to their name other than just saying like they here,
Right.
And the restaurant was created to give not only the people working there purpose, but to give our community purpose. Like, hey, this for us, Ain't nobody out there taking care of us like this. Like, we ain't feeding you store-bought patties and stuff like that. We actually building stuff from scratch. We playing with grams and ounces. Like, that's what we did. We play with grams and ounces every day. We making new stuff from scratch. People complain, but at the end of the day, when they got the food, they appreciated it because it was like, bro, we built this sauce from scratch.
Right. But
and it's cooked to order.
And those same people would complain, but go to Prime and pay the premium.
Yeah,
they'll go anywhere else and pay the premium.
They'll go to those chain restaurants and pay them, but they won't pay you just because you is who you is.
Right.
They feel like you an NFL athlete or, some of the people didn't even know me. They probably just knew the food critic and Some people came just to hate on a restaurant because of the food critic
That's
going to a
crazy.
restaurant of his choice and him just being educational and just saying, hey, look, boy, Black Americans, we could do better. Like, we could give better service. We could do this. Like, we just gotta, you know. And that's where he was coming from the whole time. You know, it just sucked that we didn't have enough people on our team to like take the constructive criticism to grow from it. They just took it as personal attacks.
Right.
That's
A lot of them.
And like in football, you can't
it's
take
all
take
constructive criticism.
constructive criticism as personal,
Right.
Because none of this stuff personal, bro. We talking about how we gonna win a championship. Like in a restaurant, every day is a game. Like in football, you don't have games every day. You got to build up process. In the restaurant, us being closed, that's our off day, but that's also our day to plan and to do rehab and to do therapy and say, all right, this is our game plan for the week. When Wednesday come, it's game day. You
Right.
got no room for error. You know, all the constructive criticism we've been giving y'all at the service, y'all got to take this home and say you want to be better. You don't want to hit this next week. So we had some people that was good at constructive criticism, and then we had some people that wasn't good at constructive criticism. And you know, when you're not good at constructive criticism, where you gonna find yourself at? You're not gonna find yourself among successful people.
Right.
You're gonna find yourself back in that
In
same
a comfortable
cycle.
environment.
And there's nothing that lives in comfortable environments except what?
Nothing grows from there.
Nothing come from that.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
real.
man. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, man. I appreciate you, though, dog, man. When I, hearing you talk right now, just thinking back to, that ninth grader, coming to Pace, and everybody looking at me crazy, like, man, who this jit supposed to be?
Why
man?
he on varsity?
Why he on varsity? Only freshman out here. But your work ethic, dog, I can say as a kid, you was the first person I seen work hard. You, Jeff, D Hop, and you was like big brother, you know what I'm saying, as far as when it comes to, school, sports, and you just set the bar so high that I couldn't do nothing but try to reach that level or even higher, which, I was at my house and I seen the newspaper and I'm like, dang, Kayvon talked about me in the newspaper saying, you was on the sideline saying you heard, then I got in that one time and then I had that one play and next thing you know it, everybody started talking about, who's Gorman? Yeah, who's Gorman? So, I just appreciate you showing me and other guys, you know what I'm saying, the ways of like, man, if you work hard and you stay focused, man, anything is possible. And also, you know what I'm saying, you can achieve goals that you set for yourself. So, I just want to be on this podcast, thanks to Bless and the GPS family for bringing you on here. But I just wanted to thank you personally of, just being that, that it factor when I needed it as a young boy, fresh into private school, straight from public school.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate the flowers, bro. We be moving we be moving so fast that we, it take like a tragic thing that happened for us to sit down and be appreciative. But I'm always appreciative and I'm always looking to pour into the next person because I want everybody to be successful that you come in, into encounter with, and that's the kind of heart that I got from my grandma. Like no matter what or no matter whoever she comes across, she feels it's her duty to try to say something or do something to pay it forward. So appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Nah, that's real, man. Y'all boys, anything else before we wrap it up?
That's it. We gotta get ready for the event.
Man, definitely, man.
December 13th.
December 13th, come on and check in. K gonna be there. We gonna be there. It's gonna be a great night, boy. Nah, but K, man, thank you for coming, my brother. It's an absolute pleasure, man.
Appreciate that. The GPS got me into the GPS.
Nah, for sure, man. We here, man. Nah, K fam, man. Me and K, we always on the phone chopping it up. This was long in the making, but, timing is better, man. So with that being said, thank y'all for tapping in for another episode of Growth Process Podcast. It's episode 54. K, before we conclude, give the people at home something to take home with them, man. Some positive words of encouragement, anything.
That's all I got.
I'm
playing, bro. Yo. Shout out. Give him
That
anything.
was enough right there. But now, on the real though, you know, keep God first. You know, keep praying. Pray like everything depends on Him. Work like everything depends on you.
That's solid.
Grind hard. Stay focused.
Nah, that's
We
real.
out.
We out of here.
GPS.